Nobody tells you that burnout, first of all, is a real thing, and then it starts, honestly, about 2 years before you even start to feel the symptoms. So by the time you're exhausted, you're cynical, you're dreading the Monday mornings, let alone Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday mornings. The damage is pre-existing and it's already destroying your practice and your lifestyle from the inside out. And after working with hundreds and hundreds of chiropractors who've hit that wall and then recovered, I've mapped the exact warning signs that predict burnout about 18 months before it forces you to sell, quit, shrink, just be miserable, or worse. Now, the doctors who catch these signals early, they just don't survive. They build practices that actually energize instead of exhaust them. So they actually finish the day in a better position than they started it. And so today, I'm going to reveal the burnout detection system that's saved careers, a ton of careers, and probably a ton of marriages also. You're going to discover the 5 invisible symptoms that really appear long before exhaustion sets in, and then exactly how to reverse course before you become another casualty of being a practicing chiropractor and of practice ownership. And so here's the truth that'll make you probably uncomfortable. If you're reading this thinking, you know what, I should watch for burnout someday, you're already showing symptom number 1. Here's what I mean. The first warning signal is when you hit or come close to your goals but feel nothing. You don't get that dopamine hit. You should be celebrating, but you're just empty. Now, I consistently see this pattern 18 to 24 months before full burnout is firmly entrenched. So picture this scenario happening in practices all across the country today. Dr. Smith hits her highest revenue month ever. Instead of excitement, she thinks, well, now I have to maintain this. How am I going to do that? This was exhausting. So the win feels like a loss. It feels like a burden. And that's not ambition talking. That's your nervous system sending you just really distinct and succinct distress signals. And those distress signals are coming from sympathetic overload. So here's how you apply this early detection system immediately for you. First, rate your emotional response to yesterday's wins on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 to 10. If it's below 7, you're developing success numbness. And second, identify when you stopped celebrating. Do you remember when that happened? Most doctors can pinpoint the exact month their wins stopped feeling good. They stopped getting that dopamine hit. That's when burnout actually started. And then third, implement micro celebrations immediately. It's something I would encourage you to write this down. Micro celebrations immediately. You finished the morning patients, 30-second dance party, 25 squats, air squats. Good adjustment. I mean, like an amazing one. Patient gets up and they're just got lights in their eyes. Fist pump. Train your nervous system to feel success again. You're just training it. But emotional numbness is just the messenger for something that's actually a whole lot deeper. And the second warning is what I call decision fatigue cascade. Decision fatigue cascade. You start avoiding simple decisions. You have trouble making them. And then the important ones. And then the critical ones. So in my experience analyzing practice failures, this progression takes exactly 6 to 8 months from the first symptom to all-out crisis. And the practices that catch this early, they never reach that danger zone. So here's how you apply the same approach tomorrow with you. So first, count how many decisions you postponed this week. I mean, you've got your list of the things you wanted to get done. I'm sure it's on your calendar. It's written down someplace. How many of those decisions did you postpone? More than 3? You're in the cascade. You're there. You're firmly entrenched. And then second, identify decision vampires. These are like recurring choices that really drain your energy. You don't look forward to them. Which insurance to accept, staff scheduling, patient scheduling, supply ordering, your flow of new patients, your lack of flow of new patients. These shouldn't require thought anymore. It should be on autopilot. And then third, create what I call decision templates. Every recurring decision gets a rule. New patient can't afford care? Great. Automatic cash discount program presentation. You know what to do without thinking. Staff conflict? Preset resolution protocol. It's already in place. Remove decisions to preserve your decision capacity. You wake up and you've got a cap on how many decisions you can adequately and accurately make. And if your cap is really, really low because of the fatigue, that's what causes crisis. So the third warning signal nobody recognizes is what's called resentment accumulation. So small irritations you used to brush off easily, now they stick in your chest like glue. That patient who's always 5 minutes late, now you're furious for whatever reason. Your CA forgot something minor, you explode internally, maybe even externally. These aren't character flaws, they're really not. They're burnout markers. I've tracked this in hundreds and hundreds of practices, and when irritation sensitivity increases by about 50%, full burnout is going to hit within 12 months, pretty much guaranteed. So here's how you apply this detection approach today for you. First, track your irritation frequency. How many times daily do you feel annoyed? Above 5 means you're accumulating resentment faster than you're processing it. You can't keep up. Second, identify your resentment triggers. Usually it's giving more than receiving. Always accommodating patients, covering staff mistakes, doing more than you should be at the office, absorbing practice stress. It just sticks to you. And then third, implement immediate boundaries for you. That patient who's always late, new policy, arrive on time or reschedule. Or they're going to be put in the back of the line. No exceptions. Boundaries aren't mean, they're survival. And then the fourth warning signal is what destroys practices, borrowing tomorrow's energy to survive today. So working through lunch to catch up, skipping workouts to see extra patients or to catch up on your notes or to read those films. Taking calls at home, unless it's an absolute emergency. Each withdrawal compounds like interest. And the practices I've seen absolutely implode all showed this pattern. 6 months of energy debt, then complete and total collapse. Drops of 20, 30, 40, 50%. So here's how you apply this same approach before it's too late for you. First, calculate your let's call it your energy balance. List energy-giving activities versus energy-draining ones from the last week. Go back through and it shouldn't be too hard. And if your draining exceeds giving by 20%, you are in debt. And then second, identify hidden energy drains. Usually it's not patient care, it's insurance fights, it's staff drama. Financial stress is a huge one, whether it's personal or professional. And these silent vampires kill your energy and they destroy practices. And then third, implement energy protection protocols. You have to take care of your energy. No patient calls after 6 p.m., period, unless it's an all-out true emergency. And we talked about that in a prior video. Lunch is sacred. 1 day weekly with 0 practice obligations, non-negotiable. And the fifth signal that predicts catastrophic burnout for you is forgetting why you became a chiropractor in the first place. Helping people becomes just moving bodies, just adjusting spines. In some cases, it becomes an adjustment factory, which is not the best way to practice. Adjustments become transactional instead of relational. And when meaning disappears, burnout accelerates exponentially. It's like pressing on the gas. And every practice closure I've witnessed hit purpose amnesia first. Totally forgot why they became a chiropractor. Here's how you apply this same approach to reconnect to your purpose. First, write down why you started. You know it. You know your story. I'm sure you've got a beautiful one. Not that pretty answer. The real reason. Be honest with yourself. Financial freedom? There's nothing wrong with that. Helping your community? Great. Proving something? Absolutely. That original fire still exists. It's just buried. And then second, identify when purpose shifted into obligation. Usually it's when financial pressure peaked in your life. You stopped serving patients and started servicing debt. And you started worrying all out about revenue. That became the consuming thought. And then third, implement purpose moments daily. Actually, they're one and the same. One conversation with a patient about their life, not their spine. It doesn't have to be a 2-minute conversation. It can be 20 seconds. One adjustment where you remember you're changing someone's future, you're altering energy flow. Purpose isn't found, it's practiced. It is a habit. Now, here's what accelerates burnout faster than anything. Financial stress from patients who can't afford your care. You want to help, but you have to pay your bills too. You're not the free clinic, and you have immense bills yourself. And so, that moral injury compounds daily. The doctors who prevent burnout have systems that make care affordable while protecting practice viability. So burnout isn't weakness or failure. It's a systematic response to unsustainable practices in your life. And so the doctors thriving 10 years in didn't get tougher. They got smarter about protecting their energy. Your practice should fuel your life. It should not consume it. It's time to build systems that serve you, not enslave you. Think about that. Hey, so if you enjoyed this content or learned, honestly, one single gem, please leave me a kind review and share this with a colleague who could benefit from the content. Hope you have an amazing day. Have a beautiful practice life.